Summer of 2006, Uruapan, Mexico, 9:47 p.m. You're on the dance floor at Sol y Sombra nightclub. The music is loud. Reggaeton pounds through speakers. Young people dance, laugh, drink. A normal Friday night in a city that's seen too much violence but refuses to stop living. Then the front doors burst open. 5 men walk in. Black shirts, bandanas covering their faces, moving with purpose. The DJ keeps playing. Nobody notices at first. Just more people entering a crowded club. Then one of the men walks onto the dance floor. He's carrying a plastic bag, large, heavy. He reaches inside. His hand comes back empty. People freeze, staring at the floor. Screaming, chaos, people running for exits, tables overturning, drinks shattering. But he isn't done. He reaches into the bag again and again. A woman falls to her knees, vomiting. A man stands frozen, unable to process what he's seeing. Security guards reach for weapons, but the 5 men are already moving toward the exit. One of them drops a note, handwritten, blood-stained. It reads, "La Familia doesn't kill for money. It doesn't kill women. It doesn't kill innocent people. Only those who deserve to die. This is divine justice." Nobody knows who La Familia is, but by tomorrow morning, all of Mexico will know the name, because the men chosen for that message were Los Zetas, most feared cartel in Mexico. Former Special Forces soldiers, trained killers, and someone just declared war on them in the most public way possible. The question, who's crazy enough to challenge Los Zetas? The answer is in the mountains of Michoacán, where a group of vigilantes is about to become something Mexico has never seen before. A drug cartel that prays before killing, that quotes scripture while torturing, that thinks murder is God's work. But to understand how that happened, we need to go back 16 years, to a dirt road, to the moment everything changed. Michoacán, Mexico, August 1990. Carlos Rosales sits in the passenger seat of a beat-up Ford. He's nervous. This is his first meeting with representatives of the Gulf Cartel. The driver hasn't said a word in 2 hours. They're driving deep into the mountains. No paved roads, just dirt paths that barely fit the truck. Carlos started La Familia 5 years ago. Vigilantes protecting poor villages from kidnappers and thieves. They were heroes, local legends. But being a hero doesn't pay. Now, Carlos is broke. His men are frustrated. Some are talking about quitting. That's why he's here, making a deal he knows he'll regret. The truck stops at a compound. Concrete walls, armed guards. This isn't a meeting, it's a fortress. Inside, Ociel Cardenas is waiting, boss of the Gulf Cartel. 40 years old, expensive watch, cold smile. The deal is simple. Carlos protects Ociel's drug operations in Michoacán, keeps the territory clean, keeps rivals out. In exchange, money and weapons. Carlos knows what this means. He'll go from hero to criminal, from protector to enforcer. But his men need to eat. Families need to survive. He shakes Ociel's hand. There's one condition. La Familia will be trained by Los Zetas, the Gulf Cartel's armed wing. Former Mexican Special Forces, the most feared fighting unit in Mexico. 3 weeks later, 6 black SUVs roll into La Familia's compound. 12 men step out, military uniforms, body armor, moving like a machine. One man walks forward, tall, scarred. Commander Lazcano, Los Zetas. He looks at La Familia's fighters, farm boys with hunting rifles. No training, no discipline. For the next 6 months, Los Zetas train La Familia like an army. 5 a.m. wake-ups, physical conditioning, weapons drills, tactical maneuvers, radio protocols. But it's not just combat training. Lazcano teaches them psychological warfare. One afternoon, they bring in a prisoner, rival trafficker, caught moving cocaine through Michoacán. Lazcano demonstrates, violence isn't just about killing, it's about sending messages. What happens next is brutal. Lazcano tortures the man for 90 minutes, not for information, for demonstration. He explains each technique, why it works, how it breaks people psychologically. Some of Carlos's men look away, some throw up, some watch with fascination. When it's over, the man is dead. They leave his body on the highway with a sign. One death prevents 20 fights. That's efficiency. For the next 10 years, La Familia works alongside Los Zetas. They move drugs together, fight rivals together, make millions together. Carlos's men become hardened, professional, violent. The people of Michoacan stop calling them heroes. Now, they just call them criminals. But Carlos Rosales makes a critical mistake. He thinks he's untouchable, rich enough, connected enough, safe enough. He starts spending time in Mexico City, away from the mountains, away from his men, living like a businessman instead of a cartel leader. No bodyguards, no weapons, no paranoia. Federal agents are watching, wiretapping, gathering evidence, building a case. And in the shadows of La Familia, one man is quietly rising, waiting for his moment. Nazario Moreno González. They call him El Más Loco, the craziest one. While Carlos thinks like a businessman, Nazario thinks like a prophet. The question is, what happens when the pragmatic leader falls and the fanatic rises? The answer begins in 2004, with a quiet arrest that changes everything. Mexico City, 2004. Federal agents know his schedule, his routines, his contacts with the Gulf Cartel. One afternoon, they move. No raid, no shootout, no drama. They block his car, surround him, arrest him before he can react. Carlos Rosales Mendoza, founder of La Familia Michoacana, is taken into custody without a single shot fired. He's sentenced to prison, removed from power, gone. The quiet arrest changes everything. La Familia needs a new leader. Everyone expects one of the military commanders, someone tough, someone violent, someone like Los Zetas. Instead, Nazario steps forward. November 2004. Nazario stands in front of 50 La Familia members. He holds up a thin book, handwritten. The cover reads, Pensamientos, thoughts. He opens it, starts reading.
I ask God for strength, and He gives me challenges that make me strong. I ask for wisdom, and God gives me problems to solve.
The men look confused, but Nazario continues. This isn't a cartel. This is a family. They're not criminals. They're warriors, protectors, soldiers of God. Over the next months, Nazario transforms La Familia completely. Every member must study his book. They call it the Cartel Bible. Memorize passages, recite them like prayers. Every member must watch The Godfather multiple times. Nazario explains the lessons: family loyalty, respect, honor. Every member must attend prayer sessions before operations, kneel in circles, ask God for protection. But the most important ritual is initiation. Nazario calls it baptism of blood. To join La Familia, you must kill someone, up close, with a knife. You must feel them die. Only then are you reborn into the family. The men start to believe. They're not just working for money, they're serving a higher purpose, divine justice. But Nazario enforces one strict rule: no member can use drugs. The contradiction is deliberate. They produce tons of methamphetamine, flood American streets, destroy lives. But if a La Familia member uses drugs, execution. Nazario's explanation: they sell poison to enemies, but keep themselves pure. Discipline separates the righteous from the wicked. By 2005, La Familia is no longer just a drug organization. It's a cult, a religious army. But there's a problem. Los Zetas are taking most of the profit. La Familia does the work. Los Zetas and Gulf Cartel take the money. Worse, Los Zetas are destroying La Familia's reputation. They massacre families, burn villages, The people of Michoacan hate them. Nazario sees an opportunity. La Familia can break free, become independent, reclaim their identity as protectors. But Los Zetas won't allow it peacefully. Early 2006, Nazario makes the decision. La Familia will declare independence. They'll fight for freedom. But he needs to send a message, something so shocking that everyone in Mexico understands. La Familia is no longer afraid. 5 Los Zetas members are captured, interrogated, executed. September 6, 2006. They are delivered to Sol y Sombra nightclub. A note about divine justice. This is Nazario's declaration of war. Carlos Rosales was arrested quietly, without blood, like a businessman caught doing illegal business. But his arrest unleashed something far more dangerous. A pragmatic leader was replaced by a prophet. A business became a cult. A cartel became a holy army. The question is, what happens when religious fanatics go to war against trained soldiers? The answer will be written in blood across Michoacan. September 2006. 1 week after the club. Los Zetas' response is immediate. Convoys of black SUVs roll into Michoacan, heavily armed men. Their mission? Exterminate La Familia. They hit safe houses at 3 a.m., ram gates, throw grenades, storm inside, firing. By sunrise, 28 La Familia members are dead, 5 captured. The captured are tortured for hours, then dumped on highways with signs. Los Zetas think this will break La Familia, make them surrender. Instead, Nazario uses it. He gathers the survivors, 60 men, terrified. Some want to quit. Nazario opens the Cartel Bible, reads passages about challenges and strength, about God testing faith. This isn't just business anymore. This is holy war. La Familia strikes back, ambushes on mountain roads, IEDs on highways. They know the territory. Los Zetas don't. The violence escalates. 47 dead in October, 63 in November, 81 in December. President Felipe Calderón sends 5,000 federal troops into Michoacan. He's from this state. It's personal. But the army can't tell who's who. La Familia members look like farmers, until they don't. And Nazario is recruiting. Every raid creates more orphans, more angry young men, more believers. By 2007, La Familia controls Michoacan. Los Zetas are pushed out. But winning the war is just the beginning. Now comes the business, the real money. La Familia transforms the mountains into meth superlabs, industrial production. By 2009, they supply nearly half the meth in America. But Nazario never forgets the image, the mythology. Churches get donations, schools get built, poor families get food during holidays. Banners appear. La Familia doesn't kill innocents. Behind the charity is extortion. Every business pays. Logging, mining, farming, restaurants, everyone. Pay or disappear. By 2010, Nazario is Mexico's most wanted. $2 million DEA bounty. But he's a ghost, moves constantly, never uses phones. His followers believe God protects him. Then in December 2010, Mexican intelligence gets a breakthrough. They find him, and they're sending everything they have. The question is, what happens when 2,000 federal officers surround a man who believes he can't be killed? The answer creates one of Mexico's greatest mysteries. December 9th, 2010, 4 a.m. Federal Police Headquarters, Mexico City. Intelligence confirms Nazario's location, a ranch in rural Michoacan. Concrete walls, armed guards, underground tunnels. This isn't a normal raid. This is the biggest manhunt in Mexican history. The commander addresses his team.
We're bringing everyone. I don't care if he has an army. We'll bring a bigger one.
By 5 a.m., the convoy is moving. Not dozens of vehicles, hundreds. Federal police, military units, Navy special forces, helicopters, armored vehicles, over 2,000 officers. the largest anti-cartel operation Mexico has ever launched. At 5:47 a.m., they arrive. The ranch is surrounded, every road blocked, every escape route covered. Helicopters circle overhead. The assault begins. Armored vehicles ram through the gates, flashbangs explode, tear gas floods the compound. But La Familia was ready. This isn't a safe house, it's a fortress. Gunfire erupts from every window, every rooftop, underground positions. They've got RPGs, heavy machine guns, military-grade weapons. An RPG hits the lead armored vehicle. It explodes. 3 officers inside are killed instantly. A helicopter takes fire. Sparks fly from the rotor. The pilot fights to keep control, manages to pull away, but has to land a mile out. This isn't a raid, it's a war. Federal forces advance in waves, take cover behind vehicles, behind walls, return fire. La Familia fighters don't surrender. They believe dying for Nazario means heaven, so they fight like fanatics. One gunman charges directly at federal positions, screaming prayers, firing an AK-47. He gets 20 feet before being cut down. Another throws grenades from a rooftop. One lands near a group of officers. They scatter. It explodes. The battle rages for hours. The compound becomes a smoking ruin, walls crumbling, bodies everywhere. A federal commander calls for air support. A helicopter gunship makes a pass, fires rockets into the main building. The explosion is massive. By 1 p.m., the gunfire is slowing. La Familia is running out of ammunition, out of fighters. By 2:30 p.m., it's over. Final count, 12 federal officers dead, over 40 cartel gunmen dead. The ranch is destroyed. The commander radios headquarters.
Target area secure. Searching for Nazario now.
His team sweeps through the wreckage, room by room, body by body. They find 3 dead men who match Nazario's general description. Same age, same build, similar features. But which one is him? That evening, the Mexican government holds a press conference. The spokesman is confident.
Nazario Moreno González, leader of La Familia Michoacana, was killed today in an operation involving over 2,000 federal officers. After years of hunting this terrorist, justice has been served.
The media celebrates. Headlines across Mexico. El Más Loco dead. Messiah of Michoacán killed. But that night at 11:40 p.m., 50 heavily armed men attack the morgue. They fight past security, storm inside. They take one of the 3 bodies, load it into a truck, disappear into the night. By the time military reinforcements arrive, the corpse is gone. The government tries to save face.
That was definitely Nazario. His followers took him for burial. This is normal in Mexican culture.
But forensic experts never confirmed the identity. No fingerprints verified, no DNA tested, no dental records matched. Just 3 bodies that looked similar. And now, one is gone. Worse, the government has no photos of Nazario. He was the capo without a face. Intelligence files have sketches, descriptions, but no confirmed photos. People close to La Familia start whispering, that wasn't him. Nazario used body doubles. 3 decoys died while he escaped through the tunnels. The rumors spread fast. Villagers report seeing him in the mountains, walking at night, dressed in white robes, like a ghost. His followers start building shrines, lighting candles, praying to him. San Nazario, Saint Nazario, the narco who became a saint. The government insists he's dead. And then something happens that makes everyone wonder if he really is alive. 2011. 6 months after the death, La Familia splinters. With Nazario supposedly dead, there's a power vacuum. El Chango Mendez tries to take over, but 2 top lieutenants, Servando La Tuta Gomez and Enrique Plancarte, refuse to follow him. In June 2011, federal police capture El Chango. La Familia collapses completely. Gomez and Plancarte break away, form a new organization, Los Caballeros Templarios, the Knights Templar. They keep everything from La Familia, the religious imagery, the codes, the mythology. But they add medieval knight symbols, crosses, Templar iconography. And in late 2011, they publish a book, Same style as the Cartel Bible, same philosophy, same writing voice. The title? They Call Me the Craziest One. The author? Nazario Moreno González. People wonder, did he write this before dying? Or is he still alive? The Knights Templar spread across Michoacán, more brutal than La Familia, more organized. Extortion reaches insane levels. Farmers pay to harvest crops. Teachers pay part of their salary. Shopkeepers pay weekly. In 2013, the people fight back. They form autodefensas, self-defense militias. Regular citizens arming themselves. It becomes a three-way war. Knights Templar versus autodefensas versus federal forces. And through all of this, rumors persist. Nazario is alive. Villagers report sightings. A man in white, walking mountain paths at night. Shrines multiply across the state. Candles, photos. People pray to San Nazario, ask for protection. The government dismisses it as superstition, but intelligence reports keep coming. Intercepted communications. References to El Mas Loco. Present tense. El Mas Loco says we should. El Mas Loco wants us to. Like he's still giving orders. Federal investigators begin to suspect the impossible. Nazario faked his death. The 2010 operation killed decoys. He escaped. For 3 years he's been hiding, controlling the Knights Templar from shadows. Then in February 2014, they get a breakthrough. A high-ranking Knights Templar member is arrested. Under interrogation, he confirms it. Nazario's been alive this whole time. The federal government faces a nightmare. For 4 years they declared him dead, held press conferences, closed the case, and he was watching it all on TV. If this gets out, it's the biggest embarrassment in Mexican law enforcement history. They begin intelligence gathering, surveillance, tracking patterns. In early March 2014, they locate him. Another ranch, different location, better hidden. This time there will be no mistakes, no press conferences until they have a confirmed body. This time they'll make absolutely sure. The question is, can a man who died once die twice? March 9th, 2014, 2 p.m. Federal intelligence confirms Nazario's location, a ranch in Tumbiscatillo, Michoacán. They've been watching for 2 weeks. Drones, satellites, undercover agents. They're certain this time. After the 2010 embarrassment, they're bringing overwhelming force. The operation is planned in secret. No leaks, no press. They'll announce after they have a confirmed body. At 3:30 p.m., the assault force moves in. Federal police, military special forces, Navy Marines, helicopters, over 1,000 officers. No warnings, no announcements, no time for escape or body doubles. At 4:15 p.m., breaching charges detonate on all doors simultaneously. Teams enter from 6 points. Flashbangs, tear gas, overwhelming speed. Knights Templar fighters are caught off guard. They scramble for weapons, but federal forces are already inside. Gunfire erupts. A cartel member fires from the stairs, gets hit by 3 officers, falls. Another throws a grenade. It bounces, explodes. 2 officers go down wounded, but their body armor saves them. The fighting is intense, but brief. Federal forces have superior numbers, superior training, superior equipment. A team clears the main house, room by room, bodies throughout. Then they find a hidden door, behind a bookshelf. They breach it. Inside, Nazario Moreno González. He's reaching for a weapon, doesn't make it. Federal officers open fire, multiple shots. He drops. The team leader rushes forward, checks the body.
Target confirmed. Nazario is dead.
But they don't celebrate, not until they're absolutely certain. They photograph the body from every angle, document every identifying feature. They load him into an armored vehicle, military escort, direct route to Mexico City. No stops. Armed guards the entire way. In Mexico City, forensic experts work through the night. Fingerprints, match. Body scars and old injuries, match. DNA from 3 separate labs, match. Dental records, match. Nazario Moreno González is dead, but his legacy is just beginning to spread.